Hi Queens, Sam here. I hope that you're doing amazing. Today I want to talk about how you can thrive financially in this hypercritical society that we are living in, as far as money goes, at least. And I mean it when I say hypercritical. So I will share with you the reason why I think that we actually live in a hypercritical society when it comes to money management, and also let you know toward the end on how you can take control of your own money and actually thrive and be successful in building wealth. So, why do I think that we are living in a hypercritical society when it comes to money management? First thing first, the way the economy of a country, the way it is actually measured is through the gross domestic product that we call GDP. So one of the measurement for GDP is essentially the consumption from people like you and I in buying goods and services, and then investments for future production, mainly coming from companies that, when they actually invest in their inventory, or like they buy machinery equipment for their own operations. And then we have government spending, investing in public services like defense or like social services, that type of thing. And then we have the net export, which is essentially the country export minus the country import. So I'm not gonna do a full economy classes here, but essentially that's how the GDP is measured. And so when you think of it, there is a lot of spending going on in there. There is like the general population spending, the businesses spending, the government spending. There is not much happening in there as far as saving and investing goes. So when you want to look at it, essentially, it's your spending, the business is spending, the government spending, everybody's spending. That's how the GDP is actually measured. And so I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, well, how is that supposed to actually motivate or incentivize anyone to actually save and invest when really the way we actually look at how the country is performing is how people are actually spending? So that's one reason that I think that we actually living in a hypercritical society where we want people to save and invest, but really the way things are actually designed is to make you spend your money. The second reason why I think that we're actually living in a hypercritical society as far as money management goes is the way we are marketed to, or things that actually got market to us. So essentially, you will see, there is a lot of marketing. We get marketed to in today's society so much, anywhere. Like even if you don't leave your house, you just need to open your TV, get on your phone, get on your laptop, and you're gonna be bombarded, literally bombarded with like different ads. And most of those ads is to make you spend your money, whether it is like, offering you a sale, offering anything, goods and services, they really want you to, spend your money. And there is not many ads, or maybe now it's coming there, but there is not many ads really promoting you saving and promoting you investing, or at least there are not as many. So again, that's another reason why I think that we are living in a hypercritical society when it comes to money management. Because why are we getting so marketed to when it comes to spending our money, and not so much when it comes to saving and also investing our money? The third reason is essentially frugal lifestyle honestly is not as celebrated as I think it should be. And of course, I'm not talking about, the extreme frugal where, you need to be camping and like eating bread and being on water. I'm not talking about that. Like, today, essentially everybody gets so excited, about the Jones life, essentially them getting the luxury cars, living in a big mansion, having the white picket fence, and how many dogs and how many kids, and going on lavish like vacations. Everybody wants to have that, and that's social media is full of that. Frugal lifestyle doesn't get the same, at least positive reputation, and sometimes it's frowned upon. It's like, why would you live like that? Why would you do that? Why would you try to stretch your money so much? And to me, I feel like, again, it's very hypocritical, because essentially it's almost like we are celebrating and encouraging people to be buying, like, the luxury cars and living beyond their means, and essentially definitely getting into debt to show a lifestyle that really they can't afford, but because that's what we celebrate, that's what we recognize, and people want to be seen and heard and acknowledged, people go that route instead of essentially maybe, living beyond their means and saving and investing for their retirement. And so we need also to think about that, right? So again, when you go on social media, it's all about all of those influencer or like on big plane going on, to Bali, going to amazing places for the vacations. But a lot of time also social media doesn't say the whole thing, right? So we just see whatever they want to show us and we think that we take it for granted. So again, I think there is a case here to be celebrating frugal lifestyle as much, if not more, than the lavish lifestyle that we see so much all over the place today. The other reason why I think that we are living in a very hypocritical society when it comes to money management is essentially the fact that money, the way money is talked about in society, it's so complex. Like, the words that is chosen, like they make it so complex that essentially the average person doesn't want to do anything with money. They see it's so complicated. What is saving, what is investing, what is this account, like, where should I be putting my money? It overwhelms people, and I feel like there is a case to create simple systems for people to be able to understand very well what they can do with their money, how to do it. And I know we have been around this, this topic so much from different angles, but I think there's still room for improvement so people can really understand essentially that money is not complicated. It's a very, very simple topic. It is a tool that we all have at our disposal to be able to use and live the life that we want. But people see today money as a very complex subject. People avoid money conversation. I see it so many times, especially when I'm coaching Black women to actually become better investors, whether it is to start investing or continue and improve their investment strategy. Most of the time, like, I see that there is so much that is embedded into the whole money aspect, money mindset, the culture and everything. But also within this society, we make money such a taboo topic, and we make money money systems or money, anything that is related to money, so complicated. We use like big words to make people feel so small because they don't understand it, and sometimes they feel like, if I want to be successful, if I want to build wealth, then I need to work with an advisor. But sometimes you don't need an advisor. There are cases that you need an advisor, but I honestly think that the majority of people don't need any advisor for their money. But the reality is, like, people will tend to avoid it because they find it complicated and they will just delegate to someone else. And so again, that's another reason why I feel like we're living in a very hypocritical society when it comes to money management, and that is not helping. So those are the reasons that I have. Please feel free to let me know in the comments below if that actually resonates with you, and if you can think of any other ideas or like any other reason that you think that why money is so complicated, they make it so complicated, and why essentially you think that we live in a hypocritical society when it comes to money management. Now I want to offer three simple ways for you to actually take back control when it comes to your money management. The first thing is to educate yourself. Anything starts with education. Any unknown that you have will start with you going to get the information that you need. So it could be reading the books, it could be listening to the podcast, it could be reaching out to someone that you actually admire with the way they manage their money and ask them for advice. And so it's really important that you educate yourself. So of course it starts with you acknowledging that you have gaps when it comes to money management. And so there is nothing wrong with that. Everything that we do today, we have learned one day, whether it is walking, whether it is at our job that we're doing, whether you're doing hair, or you're doing makeup, all of that you have learned at one point. Nobody was born with all of the skills that we have today. So there is no shame at all in recognizing, okay, I have some gaps when it comes to my money management, and I need to get out there and learn about it. So the first thing is to educate yourself. The second thing is to commit to actually make a change. So you can have the education, you can have the plan, but if you don't go to the next step, which is taking action, then all of the first step would have been for none. So it's very important that yes, you go out there, you educate yourself, you have a plan, and then after you essentially put everything in action. And then the third step, which is honestly which is going to be helping you for the first and second steps, is to get in the community of like-minded people. It's so important. Today, I would have never been able to reach Coast Fi and accomplish everything that I've accomplished in my life as far as money goes. And even becoming, a single mother by choice and having three young kids that I'm raising by myself today because I can, handle it financially. I would have never been able to do that had I not, made it a point to get into communities and circles of people who were, first of all, talking freely about money, offering, their advice, and really sharing knowledge. And it's essentially being around people who are doing it, it does help. And so, if you're a Black woman, if talking about money is something that you want to get better at and you want to improve your money, your money system, first of all, you need to come to the Wealthy Black Women Summit, which is going to be on November 22nd this year. It's an online summit. It's for Black women to essentially get better at managing our money and building wealth. And this year theme is wealth is resistance. And so we're going to be talking about, those money topics that we don't talk enough about when it comes to wealth building. Things like estate planning, financial planning, insurance, building businesses that are sound to be able to provide us with, the money that we need to support our lifestyle and being able to live anywhere in the world if we choose so. And so very important that you grab your ticket. If by the time this video is, I think by the time this video is out, the platform will be ready for you to go and grab your early bird ticket. Make sure to grab the early bird so you can get the most discounted price ever, whether it is for the day pass or the VIP pass. And so those are the three steps that I think that if you can actually put in place, that will help you to essentially resist to this hypercritical society that we are living in and push against the norms and honestly be different. And that's fine to be different. Sometimes being normal is not so helpful, right? So that that's what I wanted to share with you today. Let me know in the comments how is that resonating with you, and feel free to share with anyone that you think that they can help them to just recognize that essentially the environment that we are in right now is not conducive really to us saving and investing. So we need to be mindful of that and push against it and and surround ourselves with people who are going to be helping us achieve those goals of saving and investing. Again, don't forget to grab your early bird tickets for the Wealthy Black Women Summit happening on November 22nd. I hope to see you there. And until next time, keep on building wealth. Bye bye.